The defense of the Ukrainian armed forces crumbled in the Kursk region. North Koreans are encircling Mala Loknya. Good day, dear friends. As always, we continue our daily updates, analyzing the situation on the front lines, examining maps to track advances or retreats, and drawing conclusions about how these events may ultimately impact the overall situation on the battlefield. To stay updated on all changes, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Today, significant changes have occurred, and the most important development is the breakthrough on the flank near Toretsk. Here, Russian forces swiftly entered the urban-type settlement, advanced 2 kilometers through residential areas, and reached the central part of the town. Additionally, the situation is deteriorating for the UAF near Velyka Novosilka, where an entire Ukrainian garrison is now fully encircled, with no chance of escape. Without further delay, let's begin. Velyka Novosilka situation. Looking at the maps, we'll start with the area near Velyka Novosilka. Here, a UAF garrison is completely surrounded, not in a semi-encirclement or operational trap, but in a full physical encirclement. How did this happen? After Russian forces captured Blahodatny, they launched attacks on 2 fronts, Neskuchne and the section between Makarivka and Staromayorske. Assaults were also carried out on Staromayorske itself. Initial Russian attacks on Staromayorske were countered by the UAF, pushing Russian forces back. However, subsequent UAF counterattacks on Blahodatny failed, paving the way for Russian forces to seize Staromayorske a few days later. Once Staromayorske fell under Russian control, they gained ground between Staromayorske and Makarivka. With the positions west of Makarivka and east of Rivnopil already under Russian control, the encirclement of Makarivka was completed, leaving no escape route for the Ukrainian garrison there. Zaporizhzhia counterattacks. In the Zaporizhzhia region, UAF counterattacked near the village of Kupiansk. Hoping to capitalize on the element of surprise, Ukrainian forces attempted to disrupt Russian plans for an offensive in this region. Despite some limited success, the 3-day-long counterattack only resulted in a modest advance. UAF forces pushed Russian troops out of the right bank section of Kupiansk, but their advance stalled in the left bank part. The territory gained roughly 700 meters by 1 kilometer, totals less than 1 square kilometer. Pokrovsk direction. Russian forces made progress near Novovasilivka, reaching the central part of the village, while the eastern part is fully under Russian control. Further north, Russian troops captured Dakhne, gaining a direct road leading toward Pokrovsk. Toretsk breakthrough. Last night, a significant breakthrough occurred southwest and northwest of Toretsk. Although Russian forces are steadily advancing in the city itself, the main breakthrough happened on the outskirts, allowing them to push 2 kilometers into urban areas and reach the center of Sherbinka, an urban-type settlement. The total area of this advance spans about 5 square kilometers. If Sherbinka falls completely, Russian forces will be able to attack the UAF Toretsk grouping from the rear, which is already concentrated in the northern and northwestern parts of the city. Siversk direction. For the first time in over 3 months, Russian forces advanced in the Siversk area. They moved 365 meters along a railway and reached the Vyimka station, capturing its administrative building. From here, Russian forces only need to cover another 5 kilometers along the railway to reach the city itself. Other frontline updates. No significant developments were reported elsewhere. However, in the Kursk region, Russian forces advanced from Kruglenka toward Viktorivka, with reports suggesting they have reached the outskirts of this village. Kurakhove direction, as of December 24th. Intense fighting continues along the perimeter of the Kurakhove pocket. The political leadership in Kharkiv has forbidden UAF units from retreating from Kurakhove. Despite the unfavorable frontline configuration, the surrender of another major city in Donbass would disrupt President Zelensky's political narrative, as he continues to portray himself as an effective leader when interacting with Western officials. This is because he understands that ineffective managers don't receive funds or weapons from pragmatic Western partners. As the Americans say, nothing personal. As a result, several UAF brigades continue to bleed in a semi-encircled pocket. Current situation in Kurakhove. The primary battles are still taking place within the city itself, as well as near the settlements of Ulakli, Dakhne, and Petropavlivka. Pokrovsk direction. As of December 24th, the encirclement of Pokrovsk continues to develop. Here, as before, the key developments are happening along the front line, stretching from Novosilka to Lysivka. It is increasingly evident that the UAF can no longer hold the Russian army along the Pishchane-Zverovedakny line. In fact, this line has already been breached in multiple locations, and the only remaining question is whether the Russian armed forces will rapidly advance toward Udakny Kotline, or if the UAF will manage to temporarily stabilize the front here, which continues to consume more and more brigades deployed as reinforcements. These battles pose significant political risks for Zelensky, with the loss of the largest agglomeration in western Donbass. However, the military consequences could be even worse, as more brigades, originally prepared as strategic reserves for the 2025 campaign, are being ground down. In just a month and a half, this section of the front line has chewed through elements of 5 such brigades. Some units have simply disbanded. Currently, additional units from the UAF's 5th Heavy Mechanized Brigade are being deployed here for the same purpose. For now, this is what enables the UAF to prevent the total collapse of the front in this area. Borova direction, as of December 24th. Zaporizhzhia. Yesterday, Russian armed forces captured most of the settlement of Zaporizhzhia, with clearing operations underway in the remaining parts of the village. The main challenge here, as with much of the front line, is not UAF infantry, but enemy drones. Ensuring troop movements and securing new positions is the key aspect of these operations, rather than close-quarters combat. Given the nearby high western bank of the Oskil River, where UAF drone operators are positioned, such operations are extremely challenging. This makes the success of Russian forces in Zaporizhzhia especially significant. Velyka, Kupiansk direction, as of December 24th. Expansion of the Dvorichna bridgehead. The expansion of the bridgehead near Dvorichna continues on an almost daily basis. An increasing number of Russian soldiers are crossing to the western bank of the Oskil River, gradually turning this bridgehead into a strategic foothold. Here, as in Borova, the primary challenge is UAF drone operators rather than infantry. Despite this resistance, Russian forces are slowly securing positions in the central part of Dvorichna, where there are no remaining enemy forces. Notably, fighting has also begun for the settlement of Zakhidne. UAF resistance here is significantly stronger. The loss of Zakhidne, however, would allow Russian forces to fully consolidate their bridgehead in this area. Panic reports from UAF sources indicate a severe lack of reserves in this region. That's all for today.